Hey y'all, welcome to Lulu Ladybug's Creations YouTube channel. We're going to be making this tooled leather wood grain Peekaboo tumbler, and I'm going to be using a 20-ounce skinny straight tumbler from Makerflo. And I'm going to go ahead and prep the cup, and I'm taking it step by step so that everybody can see exactly how I'm prep the cup. Oh, and these cups come with a cute little care card inside each box, but I'm going to take off the bottom part of that little sticker. It's a little silver sticker. I don't like to keep it on. I'm always afraid it's gonna somehow pull up under the paint. I don't know, glitter, I don't know. I take it off. Anyways, I'm going to sand down this cup really good, and then I'll wipe it down with alcohol. But here we go. We're going to go ahead and sand it down. I'm going to go ahead and speed it through here. I think I'm going to speed it through here for a little bit. Yes, I am. I'm going to speed it through. I believe y'all have seen me sand down a cup. If y'all need me to do a separate tutorial on prepping a cup, let me know in the comments and I will do so. I'm going to go ahead and use Michael's. I bought Sailing Sky acrylic paint, and I'm going to get this tumbler base painted with this paint. And I want to make sure that when I am every time I paint on, use acrylic paint with a brush, I have to be real careful not to because under the glitter you can see the streaks if you don't paint it correctly. So I know I'm speeding up the camera right here, but in reality I'm going really slow so that I can make sure that I get my I don't get no streaks. So I'm using Recollections glitter from Michael's in Frost, and it's an extra fine glitter. So I'm going to cover the entire tumbler here and get it coated really good. The bottom, make sure everything is covered completely on the tumbler. After I get this tumbler covered with glitter, I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to let it dry for maybe an hour. And then I'm going to seal it. I'll seal it with Rust-Oleum 2 times clear, and then I'll put 2 coats of epoxy. And the epoxy I use is Illuminate Amazing Quick Coat. And of course I did all that off camera. So I'm going to clean up the cup, and the rim has epoxy and stuff, so I'm going to clean it up and make sure it gets so it doesn't stay under my last coat of epoxy. But I'm going to go ahead and sand down that rim and the rest of the cup and make sure that I don't have no bumps or anything underneath from the epoxy, because you will be able to see it with the template, the vinyl that I'm going to use. So I'm going to make sure I don't got no bumps, no. I'm going to make sure it's smoothed down really good. And then after I get it smoothed down really good, I'll place the template I have. I'm going to wipe it down too after I sanded it down with alcohol. And I use the 91% alcohol. I don't know that it makes a difference if I use the 91 or the 70, but to me they work the same. I was going to use that little holder there, but I didn't. So anyways, this tooled leather cutout design I got off of Etsy from a vendor called Digging Designs. She's on Etsy and she has tons of cutouts like this, different floral patterns. It's really cool. But anyways, I'm going to use this one. I already cut it out on some stencil vinyl that I got off of Amazon, and I have all my supplies that I'm using, it'll be listed in the description below, the description box below. But if you have any questions on any of the supplies that I use, leave me a message, drop me a comment, and I'll get back to you. But anyways, this what am I trying to say? This stencil, when putting on a stencil like this with all these little intricate details and cutouts, and I want to make sure that I have it on straight on the cup, and I want to make sure to try my best to make it as seamless as possible. I measured it. When you're measuring out your template for the size of your cup, make sure to include width of the cup, your epoxy, and your glitter, because if you don't do that, I've done it before, it doesn't go wrap around the cup, because I measured it before epoxy and glitter. So make sure you get that added into the measurements, is your thickness of epoxy and glitter. But anyways, I am gonna I know I speeded up the camera here, because if I didn't, this video would probably be 2 hours long, and we don't want that. So I'm using my squeegee. I'm making sure that I get all the stencils adhered to the cup, and I'm trying my best to make it seamless. Of course, some of the cutouts, didn't lay down right, or I lost them as I was putting them on the transfer tape. Transfer tape I got off of Amazon too, and of course I'll have that linked in the description below. But anyways, I am going to trim off the edge of what's hanging off the edge of the cup around the rim area, and that way it's as close down to the rim as I can possibly get it. But I'm going to peel off the transfer tape. And transfer tape, of course, you want to go really slow. And again, I'm speeding up the video, but I'm going actually super slow at this point, because I want to make sure that I don't lift up any of my vinyl stencil and get it, off track, or whatever, however you want to say it. Out of place is what I'm trying to say, out of place. But I'm going to go ahead and let this play through, and make sure that the stencil stays on the cup really, really good. As you can see here, I was having trouble pulling off the transfer tape, and the stencil vinyl kept wanting to come up with it. So I just had to make sure I kept pressing it down really good to make sure that it stayed onto the cup. Alright, so I'm at the end of pulling off the transfer tape, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to make sure that I have, I'm going to move around the stencils so that it looks as seamless as I can get it. So here I am. I'm going to pull off a couple of the cutouts of the stencil design, and I'm going to move them around. That way, it, get it kind of closed in, because there was a small little gap, and I'm sure that was because of maybe the epoxy, the glitter. Of course, you kind of have to maybe it's best to, when you measure out the width of the cup and you include the sizing for glitter and epoxy, that you want to give yourself a little extra wiggle room by going over a little, because I didn't do that here, so I'm having to rearrange some of the stencils, stencil design, so that it looks seamless. If y'all are still with me, please do me a favor and go like and subscribe to my channel. That way when I post future videos, hit the notification button so that when I post future videos, y'all will be notified that I have a new video out. But yes, please, I hope you're enjoying the video so far. Yes, please like, subscribe, share it. I really would appreciate it. It helps with the algorithm. Thank you. You know, when you're working with a template design stencil and it's got as much detail as this one does, it can seem a bit tedious because you're having to go in and there's a lot of little, you know, there's a lot of little details to the stencil. I'm sorry, my dog is interrupting. Chiquita, that's enough. If y'all could, hold on, I'm gonna pause. Sorry about that. Amazon got here and my little puppy here thinks he's like a Rottweiler and starts going berserk, barking and barking. Anyways, sorry for the interruption, for him rudely interrupting. Anyways, I'm gonna get this stencil rearranged so that it doesn't look like I have, so that it looks seamless. After I get all this sorted out the way that I want, the way that I'm comfortable with, I'm going to take it outside and I'm going to spray paint the entire tumbler with white Rust-Oleum 2x flat paint, and then I'll let it dry. So I'm going to use I did pull out 3 of my Tim Holtz alcohol inks, but what I ended up doing was using caramel, caramel, and I'm using a chip brush, and my intention was to use all 4 colors. I ended up pulling 4 colors, 4 browns. Ended up just using 1, I think, and it was a caramel. But I'm trying to see here which one is catching my eye. Anyways, I went with caramel. So make sure that your paint, your white paint, is, or whichever color you decide to use underneath your alcohol ink, Make sure it's dried completely before you begin with the alcohol ink. And here's another thing. Alcohol ink, if you make a mistake with your alcohol ink, all you got to do is kind of spray rubbing alcohol, and it kind of like, I guess it's forgiving. So it kind of helps with like an eraser, I guess. But then here's another thing. If you pass over the same area with the color of the alcohol ink that you're using, what it's going to do is kind of like, again, it's going to erase it. So you want to be real careful when you're using alcohol ink that you kind of go over the area once and try your best not to repeat over, because it's going to look like you kind of erased it. And I kind of did that in one of my areas here. I don't know that you can tell, but it did do that to me. I went over it more than I should have. But anyways, it worked out great. Don't forget your bottom. And it did look like I used more than one color, didn't it? Goodness gracious, and I didn't even put that in my description at the bottom. Anyways, the browns. I think I went mostly with caramel. I had ginger, and I had, I forgot what the other two were. I didn't put them in my description, but it is Tim Holtz. They're all Tim Holtz, and they're all the brown line, the brown color line of Tim Holtz. I did have 4 of them. But anyways, I'm going to finish here with the chip brush and going over it with the alcohol inks, and I'm going to let it dry, and then I'll come back and I will pull up all the stencils. I'm going to use my heat gun to kind of speed up the drying process so that I can start pulling up all those stencils. And since it's a lot of stencils, it's going to take me a while. So I'm going to speed up the camera, and I'll get back on after all those stencils are pulled up. Be careful when you're pulling up the stencils with your weeding tool that you don't dig into the glitter underneath, or your hand doesn't slip and you scratch up the tumbler. I've had it happen. I mean, it's bound to happen, but just be really careful when you're using your weeding tool. Okay, so I was trying to correct a little bit of that got on that didn't clear off of the glitter portion right, but then again I had to be really careful because I was using alcohol to try to clean it. And what does alcohol do? It erases your alcohol ink. So I went ahead and stopped and I said, okay, well, this is gonna do. Anyways, here's the finished product. Looks really, it came out really beautiful. I love it. It's awesome. It was work, yes, but it's really pretty. And I hope y'all enjoyed watching this video. I hope y'all enjoyed this cup. If y'all recreate it or if y'all do one like it, please tag me. But here are some other cups that I've made. And find me on my other social media pages. I know TikTok is going away, so I don't know, we're gonna have to find something else after that, but please like and subscribe and share. Thank you.